Season 4 of Team Affinity just dropped. We got the East Affinity Conquest map to do. I'm going to teach you the most effective way to do it, as well as revealing all the hidden rewards within it. All that I ask in return is for you to hit that like button. Let's get to 150 likes. Hit that red subscribe button. And inside the description, listen, because this is new, we have links. We have how to become a member if you would like to support me that way. We have my 2K channel, as well as my other social medias in case you want to go ahead and support me. Now, we started off by looking at the Team Affinity program, and in the Team Affinity program, completing the East Affinity Conquest map will give you 45 points for both of these sections, since they are both the East. And if you look at the missions, you will see that Flashbacks and Legends have specific repeatable missions that are able to be completed offline, and that's the same for the AL East and the NL East. So what I went ahead and did was I made a team full of NL East and AL East player, basically one NL East, one AL East, and I followed that pattern. And then for the pitchers, I just did it reverse. So if I started with the NL East here, I started with the AL East, and I did the same for the bullpen. And we're gonna work on balancing things out as much as we can. Now this map right here, it's a little bit more difficult to go straight after strongholds, since you don't start off with a ton of fans, and then at the same time, it's a pretty big map. I'm not gonna lie to you all. So instead, what I like doing is just filling out as many territories as I possibly can until we start getting reinforcements above, let's say, 10. That's what we want to do. So the Toronto Blue Jays and the Atlanta Braves, those are going to be the only two teams that really we're worried about at all when it comes to eating our territories. And in the meantime, we're just gonna do our best to take as many open territories as we can away from them. They are going to reinforce sometimes, and them reinforcing, it should have no impact on us whatsoever, especially if we move correctly. Like this 2 million fan will move right here, and if we move it up here, then it most likely will move here, forcing us to play a game, which I personally don't want to play. So I'd rather just go ahead and fill out the bottom. Once I fill out the bottom, then we'll go and take all the open territories available on the right side, and so on and so forth. So 4, 3, 2, 1. This is going to be important. You want to see how many open territories there is. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 open territories. With 7 open territories, we want to reinforce 8 over here, and then we can go ahead and spare a couple, let's say over here, to save time when it comes to taking open territories. So with that 8, without a problem, we should be able to complete the bottom half, which we go ahead and beautifully do. And then with these extra 2, we get some extra reinforcements. As you can see, the Blue Jays have went ahead and closed us off right there. So one last reinforcement, that's what I'm gonna work on doing. And then we're gonna start working towards going after the strongholds. So with the Mets and the Marlins, I'm a little scared, but I'm fine with taking as many territories as I possibly can over here. And then I'm pretty sure that eventually we're going to get attacked by both the Nationals and the Phillies. But as of right now, we leave ourselves in good standings. Now, the best team to go after here would be the Toronto Blue Jays, since they have less 1 million territories, or I should say the most 1 million territories blocking their stronghold. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to skip to attack, and then we're going to start taking care of each territory that has less than 3 million fans, let's say. So that 3 million fan territory, we are a little scared of it, but I'm fine just going after the 5 million, because I'd rather not lose too many and have a higher percentage of winning than losing. And luckily for us, this was the most beautiful simulation I've ever had in my life. Let's go ahead and beat the Blue Jays on veteran difficulty, and then head back up or move the fans somewhere else. And by the way, whenever you are facing a stronghold, you want to put the 5th best starting pitcher. So what that allows the game to do is put the team's 5th best starting pitcher, allowing you to hit a whole lot better. And another thing is, since we are working on NL East, AL East pitchers, you might want to put the 4th pitcher sometimes. You might want to put the 5th, but you want to interchange them as according to whoever pitched last. That way you get Ks with AL East and Ks with NL East as well. Post commentary, blade in the spot, don't make it hot, you hear me? So STND means standard, HL means headliners, BLLN means ballin'. If you see SP and then a 2, that means space set 2, and that's basically it. Wasn't the most pack filled map in the world, was extremely long because once again. I don't know why they're making us do 10 stronghold games, but I went ahead, knocked it out for all of you. So make sure you enjoy, hit that like button, red subscribe button. We're aiming for like 100+ likes, so make sure you hit that. Once we capture the Blue Jays, unfortunately we can't really do much from there, but that's perfectly fine at the same time, because that allows us to reinforce once again, get a whole lot stronger. And now that we're a whole lot stronger, we can now successfully, 1, move the fans over to the 19 mil, but 2, most likely go to the Atlanta Braves and take over their stronghold without a problem. We probably are going to attack that 5 million fan territory you guys see right there, just because me allowing it to live would then scare me just a tad when it comes to the future of whether or not they could re-attack the stronghold in order to basically capture it. And I don't want that to happen. So I am going to attack the 5, then we're going to go after the 6. Hopefully we get another good simulation at the 6, just like we got at the 5. If that is the case, then we're going to be extremely happy right now. And once you do this, it's going to be pretty easy to go ahead and finish out the rest of the map. You just have to decide which side you're going to want to encounter first. To me, the left side is probably a whole lot easier since we got more fans over there, but you never know. And we're going to be able to face them on veteran as well, so that's even more beautiful for me. So like I said, I'm most likely going after the west side since obviously there's a lot less territories for me to capture as opposed to the right-hand side. So the Washington Nationals definitely look like the next team for me to go after, since they have a 9 million territory just basically being in a corner. I don't know why. So instead we're going to move the 13 mil closer to the Phillies. I think with 20 million fans, I should get to the Washington Nationals safely. The only one that really scares me is that 4 million that you guys see right there. But that 4 million shouldn't be able to really do anything at all against me. And in case you're wondering why the camera looks like this, it's because I'm actually flipped. That way everyone gets a better view of the simulation games going on, as well as a view of the entire map. Because if I was in my normal position, I always block out simulation. And you never know who wants to see some simulation games. Now, I am scared, I'm not going to lie to you all, of attacking that 4 million fan and then the 9 million coming right after me. But it might be something we are forced to do. So I had an NL pitcher pitch the last game. This time around, it's going to be Tyler Glass now. You got to keep on switching it. Keep remembering. Now that we get the Nationals out of the way, I kind of want to test to see how far we can get against the Phillies. But at the same time, I'm a little scared. I'm not going to lie to y'all. Y'all got to be a little scared when y'all doing these simulations, because all it takes is that 6 million. All it takes is for you to have one bad simulation against 4 million for that 6 million to not only take your territory, but then run up the path that you just created. Now, we can go after the 2 mil, which I think is going to be a whole lot smarter. Hopefully win instantly, and we do. And face the Phillies on all-star difficulty, and that's beautiful because that means we knock out 2 strongholds in 1 turn, which is definitely saving time without a doubt. Now, this is something I did not want to have to do, but I'm going to have to go through with it. We have to go after the 6 million fans here. 7 versus 6 million is never a good simulation, but I'm just hoping that some way, somehow, all you can do is hope sometimes. That's the sad truth. Now, with 12 versus 4, I just need to survive. I just need 9. Please, just thank you. 9 versus 9, at least allow me to drop them down to 1. If we drop them down to 1, I will be happy. If we beat them, I will be happier because it allows me to move those fans over to that territory. That's unfortunate. But I'm fine with them only having 2 million there. I'm not fine with whichever stronghold this was having 4 million. So I'm going to have to reinforce some over here. Probably 6 million just to be comfortable. And then afterwards, what we're going to do is we're going to go right after the Miami Marlins. After we take care of the Miami Marlins, we'll go after the New York Mets. And then we'll be done with one side. All we got to focus on is the other side, which is fine with me. Come on. All right, I'm fine with them having 2 million there as well because it is very unlikely, if likely at all, for them to even try to attack our stronghold. So that is beautiful for us. Now we make our way straight towards the Mets or straight towards the Miami Marlins right now. It shouldn't be any problem. We probably won't be able to face them since they do have some big territories blocking it. So watch the trick that I do right here. We want to make sure whatever we end up with before we face them is higher than 5 million. So 10 versus 5, we most likely win that. But I'm not going to go out of my way and face that other 5 million territory. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it as it is. And then I'm going to reinforce right there just so I can face them on an easier difficulty right here. So watch this. We're going to go ahead, reinforce fully, 30 mil. And then 30 mil versus this on veteran difficulty, easy money. We had, I believe, a National League pitcher pitch last time. So this time around, we're going with the AL. We beat the Marlins. We're looking beautiful. We just go ahead and beat the Mets or this final territory of the Marlins. And then we go for the Mets. It's even better because since we just go ahead and reinforce, we're going to have a lot more fans to go ahead and attack the Mets with. And we're going to need a lot more fans to go ahead and attack the Mets with. Just because of the simple fact that the Mets have a very scary 11 just going ahead and protecting that stronghold. So we're going to go right after the 11. Hopefully we get there with at least 30 million. With 30 million, we should be good. Even without 30 million, I think we'll be straight. But I might go after the 6 instead of the 11. It just depends. It just depends on how I feel over there. 6 million versus 49. Shouldn't drop us below 40. But I jinxed myself. That's probably going to drop us under 30. Please. Okay, thank you. I mean, I was correct at the end of the day. It didn't drop us below 40. That 4 million is a little scary, I'm not going to lie to you all, because the 4 million could start attacking and cut off our path. But at the same time, I'm fine with that, and I wouldn't go back to try to reattach the path. We're going to go after the 6 million just so we can get that stronghold game out of the way. And then after that, we can go after the 11 million, or hopefully the 11 million attacks right now. Because generally they do. They didn't feel cocky enough to attack. That's perfectly fine. We'll just go ahead and face the Mets on veteran difficulty and bring in Zach Wheeler. Now it's time for things to get pretty, right? We only have 4 strongholds left. It feels like we've been doing this forever. And if you are this far into the video, then type down below who your favorite team is out of the 10 that we have faced or that we're going to end up facing. You have to pick one, and hopefully it isn't the Boston Red Sox, because it's not that I hate the Boston Red Sox. Well, I'm not going to lie. It is that I hate the Boston Red Sox. Ever since my cousin has been talking about them nonstop since he's a Boston Red Sox fan, I can't help but hate the Boston Red Sox. I don't hate all they fans. I just hate him in particular, especially when he talks about it. Yeah, I get what I'm saying. So with 53 million fans, man, we do got a lot of fans moving forward. We should be able to very easily, in my opinion, get all the way to the Tampa Bay Rays. We're fine with them capturing those territories near the Mets stronghold, because even if they do recapture them, they won't have enough to actually challenge the stronghold. And as you can see, the simulation didn't even go in their favor, so that was even more beautiful for us. Facing the Yankees a couple of times, then we'll get to the Rays, and then finally we'll get to the Orioles. Man, I honestly, in the previous Team Affinity map, they didn't make us face each and every single team in it. I don't know why in the world they decided, hey, it'd be a good idea to make them face each and every single team in it this time around. Like, what were you thinking, MLB The Show? We want easy Conquest maps to do, not Conquest maps that will take us days to go ahead and complete. Like this, to an average player, will probably take a day. To me, it takes a lot less than that, because I can go and knock out the veteran difficulties or any of the difficulties out with, I don't even know who pitched last. That we went ahead and captured the Tampa Bay Rays. All we do is take simply that remaining territory and then make our way to the Yankees, get the Boston Red Sox out of the way, and then I can finally enjoy some rest from Conquest. Or at least I would have thought, because unfortunately what I have to do right after this is get ready to face, and yes, you basically heard face, another 10 strongholds, this time for the Central, and then last but not least, 10 more strongholds, that time for the West. And after that, I can finally play 2K and basically be happy and enjoy life. So it's pretty much simple. We go after the Yankees, take the same path I'm taking right here. Don't worry about the 5 million fans. They will never really go out of their way, or I should say, while you have 50 million, they won't really go out of their way to try to attack you. Doesn't matter which one you go after here. They're both 9 million. Just go ahead and take one of them, and hopefully it doesn't drop you down to 20. Regardless, you should be able to face the Yankees on veteran, if not all-star difficulty, with no issue at all. And that should be the case with us. We dropped actually a whole ton from what I expected. 22 million fans, veteran difficulty. Let's get that out of the way. So it gets simple once again. We just go ahead and take over that 9 million territory. And yes, we are a little scared of that 5 million territory. But if you really think about it, it needs to make itself 2 million in order to get all the way to where we're currently at. So with that being said, we're just going to go ahead, reinforce, and to save some time, we're going to go to the closest territory to the Boston Red Sox, and we're going to move all these fans. Look, 4, 3, and then 2. So it wouldn't be able to attack us with 2. And who knows if it even wins every simulation. We're just going to go right after the Boston Red Sox, then after the Orioles. Once we do that, we'll be officially done with this Conquest map. Look, 4. It's going to drop down to 3, and then it's going to drop down to 2. It won't be able to attack our stronghold without dropping itself down to 2. And at 2, it just can't attack. If it can attack, I'll be so surprised. And it probably will be at an easy difficulty, but it will be an extra stronghold game that I am definitely not trying to play at any point in time. So let's see right here the moment of truth. As we are surrounded by 2 and 1. Will it attack? Alright, 2 headliners, right where that 49 is. Pretty simple. Come on, let us get to the Boston Red Sox without running into any more trouble whatsoever. Damn, those 2 million fans did take a lot from us. I am not going to lie there. 43 versus 2. Gonna be straight. And then the Boston Red Sox are gonna be ours, most likely on veteran difficulty once again, which is what I'm happy with. Playing teams on veteran difficulty, it doesn't get any better than that, honestly speaking. It would even be better if we were facing them on rookie. But you can't always get everything you ask for. So Boston Red Sox it is on veteran difficulty. It is. And we're going to put Tyler Glass now on the mound. Misery I go through just for you guys. So we're about to capture the Boston Red Sox. After this, it's pretty much simple. We just go after the Baltimore Orioles. Capture the Baltimore Orioles and you will be done with this Conquest map. You will get yourself 45 program points in addition to however many you got from just playing with these players that are from the AL East and NL East. I will be showing that at the end of the video, so make sure you stay tuned for that. This is going to be a pretty much straightforward path. We might get attacked a bunch of times talking about the path back to that stronghold, which is fine by me. I don't really care about it because all you're trying to do is capture that last stronghold. After that, easy peasy lemon squeezy. You just go ahead and recapture all those territories, which will most likely take you guys another 30 minutes. In total, this probably took me around 3 hours to do. And the only reason it took me even longer than usual is because instead of me just scoring a run and then bunting, I've actually been trying to get total bases and extra base hits and whatnot just to go ahead and see how many points I can capture and how effective this method actually is, which in my opinion, it's still not going to be the fastest method possible since there is showdown. So we'll be right back. Now that the grind is finally over, let's see how far we came along when it comes to the AL East and the NL East. Now keep in mind that for the Conquest map, we get 45, and in addition to that, we got an extra 20 from just grinding it out with having an AL East build team. And in the NL East, we actually got a couple more points at 70. So it is effective, but I'm telling you, it is time consuming, especially if you're getting a lot of runs in there instead of just bunting after a run. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do for the next 2 maps, but I most likely am not going to be going out of my way and trying to score as many runs as I can. If you did end up enjoying today's content, please make sure to hit that like button or subscribe button. Description box has everything else that you would want to see. And I'll catch you all on the next one. Have a blessed day and night. Stay positive, stay safe, stay blessed. Deuces.